we're doing this, yeah, because basically I'm a visual artist and a musician, so I'm always trying to kind of build layered events where, like, you know, like I would go to see a band and I'd feel like, well, that was cool, but I wanted more to happen, you know, and or I'd be at an art gallery and like, this is kind of boring, it's so quiet, you know? And so I think it's interesting when you can create context for either the music or for the art or both, or even other things, you know. And so that's what we did last year at Artprize, and then this year again, we wanted to have live performance on campus. We're doing it till October 10th is our the very last day, and like yesterday, like we have this time during the day from 1 to 4, which is just open, you know, nothing's scheduled. And yesterday there was this band called the Menders, and they were from Washington State, and they had heard about this like at a summer music festival, and so they were planning on coming here, and I didn't know anything about it because he couldn't get a hold of me. I get a card with a bad phone number on it, but he just showed up yesterday, and it's like, oh yeah, there's the sound system, you know, and they didn't even want the sound system. He turned the mic towards the audience, and they did a lot of sing-alongs and stuff, and it was really cool, you know, and I've never even heard of them. It's sort of that kind of build it and they'll come. Yeah.
This is the thing actually I wanted to bring up with you, because you're talking about, you know, Grand Rapids is in this curious place, like, at least from us as, you know, being involved in arts and entertainment, that there's like, we feel like we're kind of having this clumsy adolescence or something where there's bands are starting to get mad about not getting paid, and there's this dialogue happening and this potential, you know, because you're really seeing some things start to take off and kind of get some potency. But all this is happening as the economy is just, you know, it's like, the economy is like, it's like you've written your name in the sand over, you know, at Holland Beach, and this wave came out. It's barely there, you know. It's like all these kind of economic moorings are just kind of, they're just sort of dissolving. And most of America is like in denial, like, oh, we're going to recover and we'll, you know, get back on track. Because we've gone through these cycles before. So it's kind of I mean, some of what we're struggling with at the same time is a really, you know, a really challenged economy, and we're in Michigan, you know.
So do people have, as much as we have put this structure together for art and starting to put a structure together for music, do people have the disposable income to support it?
I don't think they do, and I think what's going to happen is, this is my take on it, the times we're going into are the time of the small thing. You know, Bono striding down that, you know, ramp at the concert, you know, that whole, that I think more and more is going to fade into history because we're not going to be able to support it. And frankly, I mean, I saw you two at Fountain Street Church, and that to me was a lot more compelling than what it grew into when it got really quote-unquote successful.
Right.
And I've seen this on not just music, but in a lot of places. It's sort of like the big thing, which America, you know, we really love the big. And even at Artprize, well, if we make a really big pig, or a, you know what I mean, big, that is so fucking stupid, really. And particularly in the times we're going into, because we're going into a times of, it's not General Motors, it's like the small thing. Because the General Motors of the world, they're crumbling. Those big institutions, they're awkward, they're clumsy. I mean, my brother worked for Gentex, this little company out in Holland, and they make this rear view mirror. He said, we develop a rear view mirror. A guy has an idea, while he's taking a shower, he has a mirror. 4 months later, we've got the fucking thing into production, but General Motors or Ford, 5 or 6 years before it can get that goddamn mirror in their car. We're so, and he was telling me years ago, it's like, I don't even know how they still exist. And so what I think is like bands, in terms of our music scene, I think we need to do something. We need to kind of unplug from the old models that we kind of grew up with and develop a new thing that is specific to this land, indigenous to Grand Rapids. Like, what makes sense here? What's working? What do people like? And think beyond the, you know, the bar or the, you know, I mean, we did a whole string of house concerts. Those were totally cool. And, you know, Ribbons a Song, here's $300, or maybe it was $200, I don't know, in a house concert where we just charged $6 at the door, or, you know, suggested donation. And they were happy as clams to have, you know, cash. And then, you know what I mean? Just like, let's be creative with this.
Right.
Actually, you know, it's always people saying, have you thought about what you're doing next year? And I think next year either we'll build boats for the river, a bunch of like shantytown boats, or, you know, float on the river, or I would like to do something like a band, like a busking, like an army of buskers, like actually organize an army of buskers that just go out and perform really eccentric, interesting acts and collect money and, you know, either use it to pay off our debts or, you know, something, because you go, okay, there's a gazillion people, like I could sell hot dogs or pita sandwiches, but you know, like, what could I do with this kind of population that sort of saturates the city for a couple of weeks, you know, as a musician, or a performer?